Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foul Ball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well. I am doing great. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate your hypothetical concern. It means a lot. It means a lot. This is another episode of the MFer show. And I'm Matt Fowler, the MFer. Get it? Clever. Clever stuff. So, the Super Bowl happened. I watched it and it was fairly interesting. I thought it was really fun. One thing that like a takeaway that I get out of these kinds of big events, something that just kind of annoys me in general, is like when people have like this impassioned take of something that's like super evident or has already been said like a lot. It's just like, why are you even saying it? Like, why are you even speaking? Like, people are like, I mean, there's no question that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. It's like, there was no question before this game. That you didn't need that. That was not, it's like, yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, because he already had more Super Bowls than anyone else and more appearances. So this is just another one on top of that. There's literally no reason to say that. I think the new interesting take is Tom Brady the greatest athlete of all time of all sports? Now that I think is an interesting conversation. It's no longer relevant to discuss whether he's the greatest of football. It's like, yeah, already has been so far beyond proven and established that it's like, what? Okay. So I think that's the question. I think, see, I have the interesting take, not you, not the same bullshit, the new thought, the new interesting thought. I do think that is worth just debating, though. I'm not going to get into it here, but I do think that's the new interesting discussion. Is he better than Michael Jordan? Is he better than, I was going to say Tiger Woods. I don't know if that's a good comparison. Wayne Gretzky. Is he better than those guys? I think that's where the conversation should go now, because anything else is just right. But I just find that annoying, you know? It's just whether it's like political stuff or whatever, and it's like they're just yelling what is like the baseline opinion as if that was their own thought with not adding anything to it. It's like, I've already heard this before. This is not you're not the first person to have enlightened me with this like very middle of the road point of view. I've heard that a lot. You're not adding anything to it. You just are yelling it at me. It's not worth my time. Please come with something a little more interesting. How about your own thought? I know that's difficult. Give it a shot. Give it a go. Give it a go. And to the Super Bowl, boy, there was a whole lot of virtue signaling and pandering in that show. But the most egregious example I had or I saw was the female referee. How brave. What an inspiration. What a gigantic moment. First of all, who gives a shit who's the referees are? I mean, I noticed them. I remember them. Like, I remember Ed Hockley and like a few other guys, but like, I don't care. I don't show up for the officials. Like, it's not the attraction in football, right? And the fact that the woman broke this imaginary glass ceiling in football is like, I've never met anyone in my life who wanted to be a football referee, let alone a girl who wanted to be a football referee. I don't believe that there was this glaring inequality in officiating in football games that really needed to be addressed. I'm sorry. I don't feel like this is a pivotal moment in history. I don't see a lot of like little girls changing the course of their lives because some blonde chick with huge arms is now like calling off sides. I don't know who fucking cares. I don't know why it had to happen. And to me, it's much like that woman in that girl at that college who like they brought in as like the kickoff and just like squib kicked it unintentionally halfway down the field. And they're like, yes, this is such a big moment. It's like, it is like, for who? How many women are out there like, oh, I wish I could just go onto a college football field and kick a ball terribly. What these false representation things? It's like there was no need for this. There was not like I don't even think feminists were on top of getting women officials in NFL. I don't even think it would have crossed their mind, because whose mind would it have crossed? Because who fucking cares? What's the difference? Whose life is better now? Except for that woman who's got a job. I mean, good for her. That's fine. And I don't even think I would care if they didn't make such a big deal about it. Like, there's just a line of women going down the block outside the Super Bowl, just wishing their dreams of becoming an NFL official could be met. But no, patriarchy holds them back from it. What? What is this world you were describing? Oh, that really made me laugh. That really made me laugh. And they're just like, it's such a big day. It's so important. It's like, I've never heard anyone say that this should be a thing. Not one time. I've watched the NFL my whole life. I've never heard that. Never even considered it. Never crossed my mind. And who cares? Are you going to get more women to watch the NFL because there's a woman official? They don't even know what she's talking about. They don't care. It's a offsides infraction. They're not going to be like, now I like football. They either liked football or they didn't. My mom is a huge football fan. I don't think she would even notice if the officials change from game to game. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's like the least interesting part of the game. Oh my God, that'd be like, we changed the color of the lines on the field. It's too long. Have they been one color? Now it's just like, all right, that's a feature of I don't show up for that. I'm not, what we made this really important change. We changed the way our cleats are tied. I don't give a shit how you tie your cleats. I'm here to watch you catch a football. I don't care. Like, those are terrible analogies, I know, but it's just, because I'm trying to think of something as innocuous as the gender of the referee. Who cares? I would never have given a shit. And I don't think anyone else out there authentically gives a shit either. I think it's just, virtue signal points. It's just to look at us. The NFL is inclusive. You're not going to get more women watching football. You're just not. I live in LA. The women who watch the Super Bowl are there for the halftime show. Plain and simple. I was in a public place, and I was on the day of the Super Bowl, where there were lots of people running around, and I heard the people talking about it. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl? I guess I'll watch the halftime show. I mean, that's why the halftime show always has a pop star. The men show up for the football game. The girls show up for the halftime show. We know this. We know this. And the only people who would be happy that there's a female referee are the people who just want their politics mirrored in everything that they observe. Those are not smart people, and they're definitely not people you should pander to. Who gives a shit is my point. That's the stance of foul ball production. It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. Oh my God. Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, the Super Bowl was fun. I had fun watching it. I liked it. I thought it was a good game. It was fun to see Brady just trounce everyone and just put that whole debate to rest. Pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. Which I don't want to dox myself and tell you exactly what it was, which is why I call it a public event. But it was a farmer's market. You don't know which one. Doesn't matter. So I was at this farmer's market, and there's this guy there who's not wearing a mask, and these poor girls have to like ask him to wear a mask, and he's got this paper where he's like quoting like law and the Constitution, and these girls are like, can you just put on the mask? You could tell that they're just doing what they have to do, what they're told to do, and ask them to put on a mask. And look, guys, my stance on these fucking masks is it's incredibly annoying. If you're outside, I feel like there's no reason you should be wearing a mask. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. This is just my personal feeling on it. Like, I hate them. I don't want to wear them because to me, it's, especially in Los Angeles, it's just a virtue signal. It's just to show everyone that you definitely never voted for Trump and you would never think about it. Like, it's just so irritating. I don't care about it, but I'll do it. I'll do it just so I don't have to bust more service employees' balls. I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to cause a problem for them. But this guy was causing a problem for them. And it was so uncomfortable and irritating. And he was kind of weird looking and sort of goofy. And he's like quoting, like, oh, in the Constitution it says, and I don't know if you know, but you're violating my rights and this, that. It's just all these people who are suddenly like constitutional law experts. It's like you didn't even graduate high school, dude. Like all of a sudden you've got a complex working knowledge of what laws need to be followed and how they can be applied. Just shut up and put your mask on, just for the sake of not being an asshole, right? Like you're just causing problems. I understand. I get it. I get why. I don't want to do it either, but I'm not going to make this poor girl's life miserable because she has to follow a state and city statute. She's just doing her job. Would you get over yourself? You're not a crusader. You're not changing the world. Just put your fucking mask on because we're all really uncomfortable with you being this like righteous fucking lunatic. Okay? Just shut up, man. Just shut up. Stop it. You know what you're doing, and you're just busting her balls. And it's annoying and it's uncomfortable and it's weird, dude. Just stop it. You don't actually know what the rights are. You don't know. I've got a piece of paper with something highlighted on it. Who gives a shit? You're not a lawyer, asshole. You're just some guy. You're just a guy. Now put the mask on or leave. You don't have to shop here. Just go. It's so, ugh. Everyone is so self-righteous. So here's another self-righteous thing that really irritates me. I go on a 9gag a lot. It's a meme site. I'm a big fan, mostly. It's really toxic, but I happen to enjoy the comedy and the people on there, trashy as they are. Fucking scumbags. No, I love you guys. 9gag rules. But there is this thing where people talk about YouTube and ad block. And there's this whole like, oh, the ads on YouTube have become unbearable. So pay for premium. Like the idea, like, and they're like, oh, I would never do that. It's like there are literally trillions upon trillions upon trillions of hours of content on YouTube. A lot of it professionally made, a lot of it that costs money to make. I'm not saying you have to give your money to anybody, but then accept the fact that there's ads on this free content. It's like you want free content and you don't want a cost associated with it. It's like, what world do you live in, my friend? Do you know how much money it costs to run servers that have trillions upon trillions of hours of content on it, and they just have to keep making more and more and more to keep up with the demand? I did a stream the other night that was 6 hours. Uploaded it, boom, no problems, instantly available. Has YouTube ever given you any problems? Has it ever gone down? Have you ever clicked the link and it just wasn't there? It's a flawless platform. It's got issues with its censorship, I agree, and favoring certain content creators, I agree. Nothing is perfect, but this is pretty goddamn close. And if you don't like ads, I get it. I don't like ads. Just shell out the $12 a month or whatever it is, dude, or don't complain. You know what I mean? Like it's this entitlement that bothers me. Like I understand no one likes ads. I hate ads, but then there is an option right there to get rid of the ads. Well, it's like, okay, I don't want to pay that. It's like, okay, well then you have to deal with ads. Well, I don't want that either. It's like, okay, I'd like to have a harem of supermodels, but I just can't have that because that's not the real world. Just because you want it and you feel entitled to it doesn't mean you deserve it. It's so irritating. Just like it's just because you've been raised on a plethora of free services and free platforms. You just feel that you're entitled to it and you deserve it. You don't. You don't. People make this content. People spend money on things and put hours into it. That there has to be compensation for the effort. At the very least, the servers that house all the content, you're just going to be like, I don't want to pay for it. I hate ads. It's like, ugh, shut up. Irritating me. It's just the entitlement bothers me. Is anyone feeling like this? Like, this like, ugh. Like, do you have any concept of like the access that you have in this time and place in this era, how much power is contained in this device and the computers that were used? And like, yeah, I don't like ads either, but then I have the option to pay money to get rid of ads. I mean, that's life, man. Nothing's free. Like you're going to start a business and you're not going to expect anyone to pay for it. You're just going to give away loaves of bread or whatever the hell it is you're doing. And people are going to be, and then you'll just you'll give money away. That's not a business model, man. You have to have something coming in too in order to create incentive to create and build things. It's narcissism, you know? It's just closed-mindedness. It's like the whole minimum wage thing, that comes from like left-wing cities and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, I understand the impetus there, but the reason you're so focused on that is because the cities that you live in, the cost of living is so high because the taxes are insanity, right? So that's why you think this is the solution, because you live in cities that are way overpriced because there's so much overregulation and over government. So you're just like, how could anyone else not see it this way? It's like, because not everyone else has to pay this high cost of living. It's unique to these cities, and myself included. I live in these cities. I don't want this to be a whole rant about minimum wage, but it's this entitlement that people have that really bothers me. It's like things have become so good that people, like, anything that isn't perfect, they're like, oh, how could this be? I want it all to be fixed and perfect right now. It's like, that's just simply not the way it works. You got to have a little more humility, a little more gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I am saying? Pretty fired up today, guys. Pretty fired up. I don't know where this is all coming from, but I guess I just needed to get it out. Just had to get these feelings out, these thoughts and ideas that you need to hear. I don't know. I'm a little fired up, man. A little fired up. I just kind of like, I think it's a consequence of being, caged up in this apartment all day long. And, just like seeing things and wanting to react to it, wanting to talk, and no one's there to listen except my cat. So I got to put it out to you guys. Thanks for listening. Take this opportunity to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You're beautiful people. You're beautiful. I love you. I love you very much. Let's see what else I can get pissed off about and yell at the camera about. So I read a lot online. 9gag is plenty. Is these kind of people who are like destroying the concept of the flat earth. They'll find some like flat earth guy and then they'll make fun of it, make fun of what he's saying, and they'll prove him wrong and they'll mock him, and just to be clear, I do believe that the earth is a globe. I can't believe that this is a school of thought. You have to believe it or not believe it. And a buddy of mine is he's a flat earther and he's really about it. And he's focused on it and he really cares. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because I just want to be like, dude, like, okay, let's just say you prove the earth is flat. Let's say you're right, that, they've been lying. Now what? What, are you going to suddenly become happy? You're suddenly going to be fulfilled now that you figured it out? You cracked the grand illusion? What's going to happen? If they're so powerful they could maintain that lie, what do you think's going to happen if you prove them wrong? You think they'll just be like, shh, rats, they got us. Ah, well, I guess we got to give up this global conspiracy now. Like, come on, man. If they could make every single pilot, every single astronaut, every single scientist, every single person with access to satellite data lie, why do you think you finding the truth would make any kind of a difference? Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter to you. It shouldn't matter to you. But it's at the same token, it's like the people who desperately want to prove them wrong and show that the moon is this and that. So none of you are launching rockets. Okay. None of you are taking objects and moving them off the planet. So it doesn't even matter. Okay. You work at a grocery store. Get your fucking priorities straight, man. Like, these are not the types of things you need to be obsessing over. How far is the moon from the earth? 80 million miles. Oh, interesting. I'm going to now go about my day because it doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? Like, if you're in the science field, you should absolutely know that. And just as a person collecting data, it's great. But to fight over it, to get into argument, who gives a shit? What difference could it possibly make? It's like, it's fun to talk about. It's interesting. Is Pluto a planet? Isn't it? I don't know. This is an interesting topic, but to like yell at people who don't agree, don't see it your way, or have some harebrained conspiracy, what difference what's going to happen when you convince him? Nothing. You're just going to go to the bar. Well, you would just go to the bar if there were bars to go to. Gardena. Who's this? Hello.
Hey, Matthew, Butch Patrick.
Oh, hey, Butch. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I was just recording a podcast.
Okay. How long do you need, and what time of day do you normally do these?
Well, my days are pretty open. Monday.
All right. See you tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you then.
Bye.
That was interesting. It's Butch Patrick from the Munsters. He's gonna do an interview with me. That was really cool. He's a friend of a friend, so he agreed to come on the channel and talk Munster stuff. He played Eddie Munster, you may remember. And he's going to come talk. I don't know. I'm going to try to ask him some questions. I want to ask him some cool shit. I'm kind of wondering if he gets Munster pussy. I want to know about that. I want to know if he gets laid by virtue of being a Munster, or if he did, like how that all goes. You know, I'm kind of curious. Like, are there groupies for the Munsters? Like, they're probably old now, but like back then, I bet he cleaned up, man. Once he was like a teenager, he could probably slay. I wonder. Oh, 1 o'clock. Yeah, so that was interesting. All right, keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for Butch. That'll be fun. That'll be interesting. Yeah. I guess the flat earth thing, just to wrap it up, it's you know, it's this kind of thing where people they just like feeling right. I'm right. I am right about these things. Great. If you know that you're right, then just take the confidence and know that you're right. You know, agree with the people that agree with you. You know, and then move on with your life. What are you going to change everyone's mind in the world? You're just going to be on a crusade to fix everyone's brain so they see it the way you see it. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a fruitful endeavor. Put a lot of energy into that because it works. If history has told us anything, it works. You can homogenize thought if you try really, really hard. Everyone will see it your way, especially if you attack them if they disagree. That is the best way to go about it. I recommend it. I endorse you being a dick about it. All right. Anything else I want to yell at you about? Guys, you shouldn't see it their way. You should see it mine. I'm the one who's right. I am the one who is correct. The one who's correct. You know what? There's something else I wanted to say about The Expanse. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it, and feel free to tune out. But I have to say this because it's fucking annoying, right? So I put out a few videos about The Expanse and the ending, and people disagree with me. A lot of people disagree with me. I mean, the video, I had Gary from Nerdrotic on this channel, and that video is still like a 50-50 ratio. People not into it. Not into this point of view. Well, let me clear something up for you people who disagree with me. You can have your opinion that it isn't woke, and it is possible that I don't believe this, but it's possible that I got it wrong. What is not possible that I got wrong was the way they handled the second half of the season, and the way in which Alex died. That I did not get wrong. And here's the evidence. Here's the proof. Proof is that season 5 of The Expanse was shot prior to season 4 even being released. Okay. So that was back in, I think, like January or something, 2020. Season 5 was already in the can, totally shot, done. Right. So they're just going to spend the next year doing post-production. Well, what happens in the summer is that Cass Anvar has a slew of Me Too allegations coming out, and Amazon decides to do an investigation. Now, okay, remember what I just said. The season was already shot, done, finished, in the can, just post-production at this point, right? Is over. Okay, so the plan was not to kill Alex Kamal. He was not supposed to die at the end of the season. He was supposed to continue and finish the show because in the books, he has a lot to do, a lot going on from the perspective of Alex Kamal. So he wasn't supposed to die. So what they did was they scrambled, changed the direction of the series, and then had a whole plot line where Alex dies saving Naomi. It is not debatable that the season dramatically changed direction halfway through. And it is also not debatable that they dragged out storylines and dragged out episodes, and exposition crawled to a halt. Halted to a crawl, slowed the fuck down, okay, for episode after episode. All right. These things are not up for debate. Now, what is up for debate is whether you liked it or there is agenda motivating it. You know, I A didn't like it and B do think it was motivated by agenda. But if you don't, that's fair. But if you can't internalize the fact that they radically changed direction of the season and that they changed the way the story goes to suit this new ending of killing Alex and getting rid of him and all this stuff, you are missing it. You are not observing it accurately. And it is not debatable whether that point is valid. It's 100% the way it went down. So I just think you if you want to have a more informed and enlightened point of view, you need to fold that information into the way you're looking at this. Okay. You don't have to agree with me. I wish that you would. I like when people do. It feels good. Makes me feel like I'm right. You know, everyone likes that feeling. But you don't have to agree with me. But if you want to be a better observer of content, a better critic, a better audience member, you should be more honorable to the facts. And the facts are they derailed the season to kill Kaz because they didn't know what else to do because of the Me Too allegations. That's it. This thing's not a debate. Not a debate. What's debatable is whether you liked it. I don't care if you liked it. I'm fine. You up to you have your opinion. And you can say if it wasn't motivated by agenda. I think you're naive if you don't think so, but you're completely entitled to that opinion. Oh God, anything else? I'm fired up, guys. I hope this wasn't too salty. You know, you don't always know how you're coming off, but I got things to say and I'm fired up. You have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to me. I love that you do. I love you people so very much. Yeah, all right, that'll do it. There's a new episode of Matt's Obscure Movie Recommendee Show. I recorded it yesterday with Paulie, the Latino Slant. We did Repo Man from the 80s. It was excellent. Such a fun movie. I thought the episode went really well, so check that out. And always check out for the keep an eye out for the MFer Cocktail Lounge every Friday night at 8 o'clock Pacific, following the marvelous Friday Night Tights. Check us out there. We're doing some fun stuff, going long. Should be a blast. Yeah, that's me. Thank you for watching. Please press like and subscribe. You know the drill. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.